Loneliness is an epidemic, and it has a profound negative effects on our mind and body's health. And what I've noticed is so many people who can't sleep aren't just tired, they're lonely too. And not necessarily alone. Some have partners, kids, full social lives, but still feel alone in what they're carrying. And when we feel alone in what we carry, our nervous system feels isolated, anxious, on guard, as if something is wrong, something needs to change. And if we are out of the tribe for most of humans' existence, that meant certain death. I want to dive into this today because I know it firsthand, and I have seen it in many of the hundreds of clients I've worked with. And when I struggled with my own insomnia, I had tried everything, spending over $180,000 on different healing modalities. But one of the strongest things that helped me heal was connection, without a doubt. So let's talk about something that most people are overlooking, this connection between loneliness, the nervous system, and your ability to sleep deeply. And how community, real, safe, authentic connection can start to heal that. Most people think sleep happens when your brain shuts off. But that's not exactly how it works. Sleep happens when your body feels safe enough to let go. And safety is something that is difficult to create in isolation. One of the strongest and fastest ways is actually through connection. Humans regulate through one another, and it's happening all the time. When we laugh with a friend, get a hug, or simply, feel understood, our nervous system gets a powerful message of acceptance, validation, and therefore safety. When we're disconnected, on the other hand, your body stays alert because biologically, isolation has always meant danger. And in this modern era, safety looks very different. When our body feels in the absence of connection, it can stay in that survival mode. And if your body's in survival, it won't give you sleep because from its perspective, sleep equals vulnerability. Let's talk about the serious effect of loneliness. First, mentally, loneliness is closely linked to increased risk of depression, anxiety, poor sleep quality, impaired executive function, cognitive decline, and even suicidal thoughts. People experiencing loneliness often feel emptiness, sadness, irritability, and a loss of interest in what they used to enjoy. And it may also exacerbate and trigger psychiatric disorders, including substance abuse and even psychosis in very vulnerable individuals. Now, physically, loneliness can heighten the risk of heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune condition, weakened immune function, and premature mortality. The risk of early death associated with loneliness has been compared to the risk of smoking, obesity, and lack of physical activity. That's intense. It's a huge piece of evidence on how important connection, tribe still is to us today, even though culturally we are valuing it less and less. Obviously, this is bigger than just sleep, but let's consider how it relates. When you feel lonely, your brain activates the same stress pathways it does when you're in danger. Cortisol and adrenaline rise, your heart rate stays slightly elevated, your body keeps scanning for safety even when you're lying in bed, lights off, perfectly still. That's why loneliness isn't just an emotional response, it's a physiological state of alert. And that alertness is what prevents your body from entering deep and restorative sleep. So when you feel alone, your biology is literally working against your rest. But loneliness isn't just about being with people. It's about feeling unseen or unsupported or misunderstood. You can be surrounded by people and still feel invisible. And this always makes me think of something I read from Brene Brown over 10 years ago that changed my life. Most of us are doing what we need to fit in, while what we really want is to find belonging, which only comes from vulnerably and bravely being ourselves. So many of us carry unspoken weight, stress, grief, shame, or fear, but there's nowhere safe to put it. We tell ourselves, I should be fine, no one would understand, and all of that emotion stays in the body, quietly building pressure. Then the world goes quiet at night. It finally has space to surface. That's when your mind starts spinning, or your chest feels tight. Your body's trying to process what it never got to during the day. Sleep becomes hard, not because your body forgot how, but because your body finally has your attention. So this is where connection becomes medicine. When we feel seen, supported, or even just witnessed by another person, our body's chemistry literally changes. Oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine all rise. Cortisol drops, the heart rate slows. Your body receives the signal, you're safe now. And that's what's known as co-regulation. It's how humans have calmed their nervous system since the beginning of time, through eye contact, touch, voice, tone, and presence. This is why I created my community, because sleep doesn't just improve from information, it improves through connection. And when people join my group and start sharing, crying, laughing, feeling understood for the first time in years, something shifts. Their bodies start to remember what safety feels like. And that's when healing begins, not just in their sleep, but in their whole life. So if you're curious about the sleep support community, the link is in the description below. So how can we start rebuilding that sense of connection? It doesn't have to mean joining a big group right away, doing lots of social events right out the gates. It can start small. Reach out to one person you trust. Not necessarily to vent, but just to share honestly how you've been feeling. You'd be surprised how many people are craving that same realness. You can join a support group in person or online where people actually talk about what's real. Just being in a space where you don't have to pretend is powerful for your nervous system. Practice micro connections. Smile at a stranger, thank someone sincerely, make small talk at a coffee shop. These signals will tell your brain I'm connected to life around me. And before bed, do a little reflection. Where did I feel seen today? Where can I allow more connection tomorrow? Even noticing small moments of belonging starts rewiring your nervous system for safety. Consider this. The opposite of insomnia isn't sleep. It's safety. And safety grows in connection. If you've been struggling with sleep and you feel like you've tried everything and nothing changes, maybe the missing piece isn't another supplement or routine. Maybe it's support. And that's exactly why I created this sleep support community. It's a space where people who are struggling with sleep can come together to feel seen, supported, and reminded that they're not broken or alone. There's live calls each week, a full set of courses, and a community all supporting one another. When you bring community into your healing, your nervous system will finally exhale. And when your nervous system exhales, sleep returns. So if this resonated with you, click the link below and come join us. Even just being surrounded by others on the same path can start to change how your body feels at night. Rest well.